Welcome to a new era of MINJEC TV, the digital heartbeat of Cameroonian youth and civic engagement. Greetings to you, ladies and gentlemen, dear young people. We begin with the key moments. Minister Mununa Futu presided over youth empowerment ceremony in Yaoundé, wherein 300 junior enterprises were transferred from MINJEC to APME. MINJEC and the banking sector unite at Montfebe for the second edition of the dinner debate to boost youth empowerment. Stay with us as we unpack the key moments from each report. Entrepreneurial ecosystem. 300 junior enterprises transferred from MINJEC to APME. This took place during a ceremony presided over by the Minister of Youth Affairs and Civic Education, Mununa Futu, in the presence of the Minister of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, Socio-Economic and Craft, Ashili Basilican III, on September 23, 2025, in Yaoundé. For more on this story, we now turn to our correspondent, Ange Boko.
The migration of projects to businesses contribute to the structural transformation of the national economy insofar as the viability and sustainability of productive projects by young people who are for the first time innovators are catalyses for changing the introvert nature of our economy with the implementation of the import substitutions policy.
This ceremony is a concrete manifestation of the pioneering, timeless policy of the President Paul Biya in favor of young people, which is coherent, and he has put in place many ministerial departments and organisms that are taking care of young people from the idea of project to their autonomization, particularly in the domain of entrepreneurship.
From the presentation by Henry Biheng, National Coordinator of the Rural and Urban Youth Support Program, we learned that of the 300 junior enterprises transferred, 242 are run by men and 58 by women. Here, agriculture accounts for 62% of the latter. The support was confirmed by Mr. Achille Basilekin-III, who mentioned that all support mechanisms will be mobilized to ensure that this group of entrepreneurs is a complete success. The junior enterprises that are being transferred today are the result of the personal work of these entrepreneurs, but also the personalized support provided by MINJEC.
This is a project to help young Cameroonians to open their enterprises. For example, like me, I have a secretariat where I help to train the youths on how to function on the computer, to learn many things, to print and type. And I also thank God because it has helped a lot of youth.
Ultimately, this ceremony marks an important step in promoting youth entrepreneurship in Cameroon. The 300 junior enterprises transferred to the APME will now benefit from enhanced support for their development and growth.
The Montfebe Hotel in Yaoundé was the venue. On September 23, 2025, for the second edition of the dinner debate between the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education and companies in the banking sector. The event allowed them to agree on the support to be provided to young people for their better empowerment. To walk us through what unfolded during the ceremony, we now join Juliette Flonganko with the full report.
Organized by the National Youth Observatory, the meeting brought together public policymakers and bank managers, young beneficiaries around the theme, financial literacy for youth, and assets for the development of the banking sector in Cameroon. The Pronec Reamos program aimed at developing responsible citizenship and entrepreneurship, and the biometric youth card which serve as both a bank card and a youth identification tool, were presented as strategic levers for financial inclusion and empowerment. The Minister of Youth, Mununna Futsu, stressed the urgency of training young people in money management. If we don't educate the youth on the use of money, money will end up losing our youth. He called for a change in mindset and attitude to promote wealth creation and saving.
Your involvement in training youth in artificial intelligence, for example, and the fight against financial fraud in the first half of 2025, your manifold support for the winners of the Best Youth Arts and Literature Prize in Economic and Financial Education, as well as the new commitments made today, all bear witness to your commitment to the fulfillment of young people and the sustainable development of our beloved country, Cameroon.
In the same vein, Professor Justin Defoe, the founder of a training institution, advocates for the implementation of the National Financial Intelligence and Education Program integrates into school curricula. She believes that young people have the power to transform their future by changing their way of thinking.
The first solution is that everything is in education, early education in the primary system. I may also say in the family, because it's in the family that the first step of education begins. And as far as I know, if children and youth don't receive this type of education, financial education, financial intelligence, as soon as they get in the enterprise, they may be surprised by huge salary.
The dinner debate established itself as an annual framework for sustainable partnership between the government, the banking sector, and civil society, with the aim of building a financially autonomous generation capable of meeting economic challenges by the year 2030.
During a ceremony presided over by the Minister of Youth Affairs and Civic Education Mununna Futsu on Friday 25 September 2025 in the conference room of his ministerial department, 20 young people, selected through a rigorous process, joined the growing list of beneficiaries of the cooperation between the Conference of Ministers of Youth and Sport of Francophonie countries and the state of Cameroon. Erwin Ayotel, over to you.
The Conference of Ministers of Youth and Sports of Francophone countries stands out as a key player in the ongoing efforts to empower young people. Its most recent initiative at the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education involved the distribution of 10 startup checks as initial support to help young entrepreneurs launch their activities, along with 10 additional incentive checks aimed at supporting and boosting those entrepreneurs who have already begun operating in the field.
My project is about the creation of a rabbit farm. Many people are not able to have this meat, so I'm going to create it to help everybody to have it, because the value of that meat are very good for the health.
With projects focused on digital technology, textiles, agri-food, among others, these future industry leaders selected from across the national territory will inspire their peers and at the same time contribute to strengthening the import substitution policy through economic patriotism, key elements in Cameroon's path towards emergence.
Et nous avons essayé de faire un choix sur des jeunes qui sont déjà opérationnels.
And we tried to select young people who are already active and working on projects where today's funding directly supports their businesses. This is similar to what we've seen recently with several young participants from the PPEJ who came through the agency. It shows how important it is for them to get through the turbulent phase of running a business. We also expect them to serve as role models because many young people no longer believe in what the government is doing. As a result of the cooperation between Conféges and the state of Cameroon, this event provided Minister Mununna Futsu with the opportunity to carry out a moral, civic and entrepreneurial rearmament for these young entrepreneurs, now proudly wearing the mantle of indomitable lion in their respective fields. Business has already begun for young Abraham Zozong, who received a special order of 50 units of the ecological charcoal waste stove directly from the government officials during the ceremony.
As part of the International Day of Peace, the government provided equipment and technical support to nearly 400 young participants for the 3-year Special Youth Plan program in the Central region. This initiative represents an investment of over 678 million francs CFA to support impactful development projects. For more insight on how the 3-year Special Youth Plan is transforming youth empowerment, let's hear from Almel Bamba.
At the Esplanade, the atmosphere is both solemn and festive. A total of 395 young beneficiaries of the 3-year Special Youth Plan program receive equipment and technical support. This allocation, valued at over 678 million CFA francs, is aimed at supporting key development projects in the Central region.
Par ailleurs, il est aussi question de lutter contre d'autres fléaux comme le chômage des jeunes.
Otherwise, it is a question to fight against other phenomena like youth unemployment and underemployment, because they have to get the fighting spirit in order to insert in their productive lives. In this case, the 3-year Special Youth Plan, instructed by the head of state, is to accompany the youths already rearmed for a durable socio-economic integration. In this ceremony, many young people from the Central region will be given support to reinforce their integration in the productive society and their contribution to the national revenue of our country. Due to that, 387 projects from the Central region, that is 219 boys and 166 girls of the 2025 cohort, will receive significant support, which will be about 700 million francs CFA in the case of the 3-year Special Youth Plan. Presided over by Mununa Futsu, Minister of Youth Affairs and Civic Education, the ceremony was part of the 44th edition of the International Day of Peace. These young people pledged to serve peace and the nation. As a symbolic gesture, a minute of civic reflection marked the close of this citizen-focused gathering. For what you have done for us, we say thank you, thank you. Your Excellency, Mr. Minister, we are permitted with the guidance of our collaborators and under the supervision of authorities, we, the young beneficiaries of the 3-year Special Youth Plan, will make a good use of these materials received. Through this ambitious plan, Cameroon placed its youth at the heart of its strategy for a peaceful, inclusive, and prosperous future.
ABB and Happy Foundation support young people. On Wednesday, 24th September 2025, at MINJEC's conference room, the ABB and Happy Foundation signed a partnership agreement with the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education relating to the socio-economic integration of young people in Cameroon in sectors such as cinema, arts and culture. The echoes with Shali Likisabi.
The ABB and Happy Foundation is one that trains youth in domains such as cinematography, arts and culture. This is with the aim of empowering youth so they can have a place in the society and also take part in the development and evolution of our country. Alain Bemo, president of ABB and Happy Foundation, presented his foundation and its objective, which is training youth in cinematography so as to build future professional actors.
ABB and Happy is all about to accompanying youth, people who are in difficulties, to at least give them a training in what concerns cinema or art in general, and to bring them up, to follow them, and to do our best to give them at least a job after all training.
For the ABB and Happy Foundation, the aim of this partnership is to bring its multi-faced expertise in supervising young beneficiaries mobilized by MINJEC in the field of cinema, art, and culture, to also strengthen the capacity of MINJEC staffs, particularly supervisors working in the CMPGs in the set disciplines. Also, to offer training at preferential rate in the field of cinema, art, and culture for the young beneficiaries in this partnership agreement, and establish a talent pool composed of young people trained under the partnership agreement, which could be used to develop Cameroon's cinema and theater activities.
Ce partenariat était, comme on le sait très bien, non seulement la formation des jeunes, mais aussi les mettre dans des positions de travail, l'accompagnement. Et nous avons sollicité le ministère de la Jeunesse pour nous accompagner parce qu'ils ont un large éventail de jeunes qui sont inscrits à l'Observatoire des jeunes au Cameroun. Nous voulons leur donner l'éducation nécessaire au travail du cinéma.
As for the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education, it's responsible for mobilizing young beneficiaries of the partnership agreement and also ensure moral, civic, and entrepreneurial rearmament of the mobilized young people. Also providing technical support to the Abibi and Happy Foundation in implementing the activities agreed upon in the partnership agreement. Furthermore, communicate through the platforms about the socioeconomic integration opportunities offered by the Abibi and Happy Foundation for young people and provide the Abibi and Happy Foundation with the information necessary for monitoring and evaluating the projects implemented under the partnership agreement. In his speech, the Minister of Youth Affairs and Civic Education, Mununa Futsu, encouraged Abibi and Happy Foundation President to continue in their missions involved with empowering our youths.
Once more, assuring you as partners for our commitment and on behalf of the collaborators here that they should be mobilized in the implementation of the different missions and attributions that are dedicated to us. Not only those who are at the central services, but those who are on the field. That's why I asked the directors here and the competent directors to immediately prepare a circular letter so that we instruct our structures on the field to accompany that initiative.
Minister Mununa Futsu also gives assurance on the fact that MINJEC's doors are always open for ideas geared towards youth empowerment, promising the success of this partnership.
That's all for today. May your actions inspire change, stay informed, and keep building the Cameroon we believe in. See you next time on MINJEC TV. Good day.